driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the Slimy Bastards. Take it away, Jason and Adam.
Yeah, it's working now because the red button's on. Fucking take.
Wonderful.
Take two. If Kelly was here, she'd be all over this. She would have been like, you fucking idiots don't even have the red light on. You know, that's the first indication, that fucking red light. Heaven forbid I look down, you know, it's not recorded. Here we are on take two with Braxton and Bryson Yeager in Rock Springs, Wyoming, set for night one of the Salute Roger Rolene Salute to Veterans Memorial Race on Memorial Day weekend. My dad, Roger Rolene, passed away in January 2nd, just after New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day, and we put all this together. I got with Jason with the Salute to Heroes and
Salute to Veterans.
And Hunting for Heroes, and he jumped on board with it for raising money, and it kind of goes hand in hand with everything because we're in Rock Springs, Wyoming, where a lot of big game hunting is famous for around here. Bryce and Braxton both do a lot of that, and it's kind of cool that we could honor vets and racing that my dad both was pretty passionate about. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
The Slimy Bastard podcast show, take two.
Yeah, thanks for having us again.
Yeah, welcome back. Goddamn, what have you been up to since the last time we talked?
Oh, we talked a little Tom Berry. We talked a little Tim Ward.
Trippy Dippy singing Beauty and the Beast in his holler in Britt, Iowa. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought maybe he would have made the trip out here, but I don't think he is. I wonder what he's doing this weekend.
I think he would have, but he just moved out to work for Zach at Vanderbilt. So I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he's
living in Iowa now.
Oh, really?
So, because I think he was actually going to come out here and before he decided to do all that. So now it would have been just as far as you guys and everything. And I think he just started racing out there a little bit. So yeah, he's working out there.
So the last time I seen him was last year at Mason City. He was running a US MTS a little bit, and he still does. But his girlfriend, they're not married. Are they engaged?
They're just dating.
Okay. But she does a lot of fucking work on that car. Like she could be anybody's pit guy.
Oh yeah, she works her ass off. She's way into the racing too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But that's where I see they were actually pitted right next to Chris Clark. And I stopped there. I had plans that night, so I wasn't able to stay there and race because we actually only live 20 minutes from that track. And I was hoping to stay there and watch them race, but we had plans that night with the kids and that. So, but I did want to. That's when Chris Clark was there, and I wanted to make sure I stopped by to say hi to him. And those of you that don't know, Chris Clark was from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Raced a lot with you guys, right?
Yeah, we raced, especially when I started racing. He always raced my MCA stuff, and we raced him a lot. He was an awesome dude. Nicest guy I've ever met.
Really, really cool guy. And he passed away, what was it, in March?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah,
so.
something.
A couple months ago or whatever, yeah.
And the cool thing about him is when Dad was living in Idaho Falls, he rode with you guys out to Marshalltown and Stewart. Was it Stewart?
I think so. I think we went Stewart, Marshalltown, and somewhere else. Independence. Yeah.
Yeah, but my dad got hurt out at the track and broke a bunch of ribs and all, or broke his back and got hurt and all that. And Chris Clark was racing in down by Omaha and drove clear across the state with his trailer and everything just to see Dad in the hospital.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember my dad said when your dad was in the hospital that it was like Ethan, I don't know if Tanner was there. There was like 4 of them, and it was like people from all across the country. And the nurse in there was like, how in the hell do you know this many people from all across the country? That's what he said. That's just how racing is. Everyone knows everyone from all over.
And that's what's cool. So you guys, Rock Springs, Wyoming, that's where we are. Opening night tonight, first race of the year. we got Bryson, the younger brother of Braxton, who's just 17, getting his teeth wet, or is that the right term? No.
Getting his feet wet.
Getting his feet wet. Getting his feet wet. Racing with his older brother, and we talked a little bit about this on the first podcast. Who rubs who, and who's getting on who in the race? I'm going to ask you this, Bryson, because you're a man of a few words.
Right.
Let's get you talking here.
I mean, we never really hit each other or anything.
Well, yeah, I'd hope not. Your dad would be pretty pissed off.
He would kill me, but my brother's definitely the one who's beating me most right now because he's got a lot more experience. But I think at some point we'll be racing each other really hard. For
That's
the lead,
what
hopefully.
I'm usually. I mean, yeah, right now I have a lot more experience, but there's still certain conditions where Bryson already kicks my ass. It's pretty surprising, but like I said, hopefully he's still following me around this weekend. But with me being in a new car and not knowing anything about it, he might be kicking my ass all weekend too. You just never know.
So, Bryson, you're 17,
Yep.
and you came from karts right into modifieds.
Yep. Exactly.
No fucking around. You just jump right in. And was that your decision, or is that a dad decision?
I mean, my dad definitely asked me if I wanted to race like a sport mod or something first, but my brother raced a sport mod before he went to a modified, and it was just kind of a wreck fest. He didn't really learn too much from it, so he just figured it was a better idea. To put me in a modified.
That doesn't get better anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of both your guys' decision, huh? I think it was definitely the right decision.
I agree.
It's hard starting off in a modified. I mean, the competition level's better. In IMCA, modified is the hardest division, I think, driver-wise and competition-wise. But I don't know, you can learn bad habits starting in a sport mod, which not always, but I think it's just better to start in modified if that's your long-term goal anyway. I started in that sport mod. I was only 13. We didn't have them sanctioned here in Rock Springs, so I started driving one when I was 13, and yeah, that class was fun, but it was kind of a shit show too. He wrecked a lot of shit.
So a question that goes with that. So since all these modified guys are going to stock cars, are you going there too or no?
My dad just got a stock car and he raced it for the first time a few weeks ago. He won, and he said it was fun. I've never drove one, so I don't know. Bryson drove it.
Yeah, I hot lapped it after my dad won that night, and it was really fun, but it was just, I don't know, it just didn't give the feeling like a modified gave. Like,
That's how I feel. It just doesn't. I don't know. They are especially when you go out east. Those races are so badass. Stock cars are honestly the funnest races to watch. They're side by side the whole race. Modifieds kind of get in line and gap out. They just don't interest me as much as a modified. I love modified racing. I still want to drive that car a little bit, but I don't think I would ever go full-time stock car. Or anything
God, he's
like
getting
that.
excited. Shit's falling off the shelves. Look at it. He's recently engaged.
Yep.
Name's Faith. Like Faith, you know.
Gotcha. I'm with you.
I want to make sure you're up on the same page here, Adam. So make sure you're keeping up.
Gotcha.
But he gets all excited. Fucking water falling all over the place here.
He says he's not excited about stock cars, but stuff's falling
Yeah.
all over.
I shouldn't say that because I never drove one. That's what I wasn't excited to get it honestly, but I think it will be cool, especially if you go out east and race all the guys out there. I mean, you go out there like Murdy's down. He's like impossible to beat watching him. And some of those guys, there's a lot of really good modified drivers driving stock cars.
Well, 95% of the people back home have got stock cars and modified.
for
That's
sure.
kind of why I was wondering if you were going to take that same path.
Yeah, I think we'll probably take turns driving that one for sure. I don't think we'll go full time, but I think so.
So and now going to the other night when Adam and I were there, Green, what's his first name?
Derek Green.
Derek Green was racing there. That fucker flies.
Yeah, he's good.
He's fast no matter where he's at or where he goes. Yeah.
We actually watched him in Webster City, and he won that race there at the USMTS race.
Yeah.
And he even got.
He took the lead. He had a flat tire halfway through, had to go to the back, and still drove back through and won it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
fucker was flying.
He won 3 in a row down there because they had a 3-night show. He won all 3 shows. And he would have won in Algona a couple weeks ago, but he got wrecked by a lap car. And then last week he won. And then he wasn't there last night. So.
But I met him for the first time that night in Algona. Really, really cool, fun guy. Like he's going to come and do a podcast with us here shortly when we get the trailer up and going. But I can't wait to sit down with him because was it his dad that was there?
His dad's there, but his grandparents.
But
his grandparents basically buy him all the stuff he's got. But yeah, it's his dad that's his big group.
Okay, but the guy who was standing next to him when we were talking, his grandpa.
That was his grandpa. Yeah.
Remind me a lot of my dad. Drinking a beer, shooting the shit, so yeah, it'd be kind of a cool.
That's I sit with them every week at Algona and Britt. So.
Pit Stop Motorsports, Dirt Tracks Racing, largest inventory trackside parts service. We keep racers on the track, located in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and coming to a track near you. Check us out on Facebook at Pit Stop Motorsports. And tell Slade Pitt, the slimy bastard, sent you.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back.
Duracell just lost our endorsement.
Well, we've had those batteries in there for weeks.
Well,
they're good.
And our first ever, when we first set this up with Kelly, and we talked for damn near 2 hours. It's crazy because you just get so relaxed and you're just.
Oh yeah.
How we were just saying, a conversation goes 360 real fast. So with that being said, we were talking about Derek Green and Algona and that, and what I was getting to is how his grandpa reminded me a lot of my dad. And speaking of how family, that's another family that comes close together with a lot of their racing.
Yeah.
You guys are really tight with your family. I mean, you got your cousins. Was it be second cousins?
They would be their first cousins.
Yeah. Okay.
And their little kids would be our second.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
But these guys bring out. You would think that there's a fucking Yeager family reunion at this place.
It's packed. Like I was saying earlier, we're so lucky.
It's awesome.
We have so many people support us, and we're blessed. We have all our cousins. Our whole family loves to go out to the races and hang out, and all the little kids love it, and it works out good. It's awesome.
So speaking of our little kids, because like your second cousins play a lot with Hot Wheel cars. And like my little boy, and you've seen this, Braxton, and I don't know if you have yet, Bryson, but they, my little guy, Maverick, will sit there and act like he's Braxton, Tanner, Kelsey racing, going down, and we've talked about this, even your boy will do it sometimes.
Yeah, he'll lay on the floor with Hot Wheels and play with the guys
Right.
the guys that we like.
And they pretend that you're racing. Did you guys ever do that when you were kids? Like
Yeah,
thinking you were your dad or whatever?
All the time.
So what I'm getting to on this is, and this is we talked a little bit about this yesterday at your shop there, and at your shop, how little kids play with these cars. And I talked to Brett Root a couple years ago at the Super Nationals. Why in the hell doesn't IMCA do a little Hot Wheel car? Get with Hot Wheels. They do it with the monster trucks, right? They would do it with the IMCA cars. Whoever makes and I said this to Britt, do a series of those that make the All-Star race.
Yeah, that would be badass.
So every year it's changing out with the new All-Star drivers, and they get their own Hot Wheel. Get with Hot Wheel. It can't be that fucking difficult.
No.
With
if you go to the main grandstands though now at Boone, they have little Matchbox cars now, but they're still not anything close to what you're talking about. They're just regular Matchbox cars,
Right.
Which I mean, still good for kids if you're at the race with your kids. Buy
right,
them
but I'm
and let 'em
actually
play.
talking about them doing an actual where it looks like a modified car.
Right.
I mean, how cool would that be?
That one guy does that in Algona.
Yeah, there is a few that I see.
Or it was Britt.
Look at this. Hey, we're clean. Slade Pitt is walking around here wondering where he's at. He's joining us here. Look at, ladies and gentlemen, Slade Pitt just joined us. If you would have knocked, I would have said, no, we don't need any house cleaning.
I saw Bryson's little face.
He hasn't said two fucking words this whole episode.
He doesn't talk. He just sits there and looks pretty.
But then
Brax-
when he does talk, you're like, oh shit, that deep voice.
So, Slade is in the room here. Slade Pitt from Pit Stop Motorsports. Sorry, we only have a 4 mic setup here for you. But we could have you share with one of these guys here on the mics and everything. But Slade races sport mods. You guys are in modifieds. Have they ever done where you guys race together?
No, they've never done anything like that. Not around here anyway.
Yeah, Slade was hoping that he'd get that opportunity one of these times because he's been wanting to clean house here for a while.
Well, you have to come over to Boone and do that Hawkeye Challenge where they put 4 of every cars on the track and let them go.
I've seen that shit. It looks crazy.
That is, yeah, if you ever go to Boone one week, that's the week you need to go.
When did they do that?
It's called the Hawkeye Challenge. They do it just 1 week, one random Saturday night. I'd have to look at it. I don't know. I don't have it.
Don't they do it isn't that a series though, the Hawkeye Challenge?
All I know is they take 4 sprint cars and 4 of everything and race them. I don't know if it's a series or not.
Anyway. See, Slade, now you're catching up with everybody here. What's going on? A quick question for you, Slade. You all right? We got water in that for you, too.
Okay, cool.
I know you're on a caffeine-free. How many days you been off of caffeine?
Since September, actually.
Do you, in all seriousness, do you feel a difference?
Yeah. I feel more motivated. Oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
feel
you're
more motivated and energized than I think I ever have. Because I was bad with pre-workout and stuff, and then I drink a C4 2 or 3 a day on top of pre-workout, and then taking Adderall and just all this stuff, So I kind of got to the point where I was like, I gotta do something. So I got off. I you know what I mean, stopped everything, caffeine. Not drinking alcohol at the moment either. Have you ever heard of the 75 Hard program?
I haven't. I'm not, as you can see, I'm not that fit of a guy like you are.
No, I'm not either. That's why I had to get back on it because
Braxton's getting married here, and he's starting to slim up here a little bit. He's starting to put on some muscle. Their big wedding outside the courthouse. He's just going to walk across the street from where his business is, and right out there in the front yard, and make sure it. That's actually a fucking brilliant idea. Not only are you going to be saving a ton of money on your wedding, you're going to save a shit ton of money on pictures.
I wish I could do that.
You want to know why that is? Because at the courthouse, they have all kinds of security cameras. You just have to buy their security cam footage. And
I thought maybe you were going to...
You could take the pictures right
I
off.
thought maybe you were going to say mug shots.
Yeah, no.
Shit, I wish I could do that. It'd be way better.
Where are you guys getting married?
My parents bought a property up in Pinedale, so we're gonna get married to that property up there. They have 10 acres. It's pretty up there. It's pretty cool.
Is that where you guys do a lot of hunting?
We do a lot of shed hunting around there, but during I guess the time of the year where we'd be hunting, there's not a lot of deer or elk down right where our property is, so it's kind of hard to hunt right in that area. But
Usually within an hour of there is really good, but right by the property is not the best. But we hunt a lot right around Rock Springs Green River too. I mean, we honestly do better around here. Up there's more mountains, but we just the way we hunt, we do better in the desert, lower sagebrush country and stuff like that.
Sure.
That elk tag I had 2 or 3 years ago, it's just right in the sagebrush. I mean, it's the best elk tag you can get in Wyoming. It's awesome. So there's great hunting right around here.
Do you do any hunting, Slade?
No, I'm not a hunter. I went one time rabbit hunting, shot a rabbit and cried for hours. I was just devastated that I took the life of.
Have you ever heard of Trip Gaylord?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't have anything against it.
The reason why I bring that up is because he sings a lot of Disney classics. And when you just said how you hurt your feelings of shooting a rabbit, I just thought of Trip Gaylord of being singing something off of Bambi, shooting Thumper of.
Yeah, maybe that's. I hated Bambi when I was a kid. That movie was sad. Maybe that's where it all stemmed from. I don't know. Childhood, what's that word I'm looking for?
Childhood traumatized you as a kid. Traumatized.
Watching Bambi.
Bambi and Old Yeller, 2 really bad movies.
So with that, you guys do a lot of hunting. Bryson does a lot of fishing. Do you go fishing at all, Braxton?
I used to a lot. I haven't went probably in a year or 2. I like fishing still. Just I do so much hunting, I don't have much time, and we race and snowmobile, do a lot of other shit. So
and Faith, your fiance, goes a lot of times with you too.
She likes it a lot. She likes to go hunting and shed hunting a lot, and she usually goes with me all the time.
Speaking of shed hunting, I seen an article the other day. Is that true where they're going to outlaw that?
No, so there's a rule in Wyoming, you can't shed hunt from January 1st to May 1st because they don't want to put pressure on the animals in the winter and kill them. And there's a lot of people getting caught picking them up early, and you can get in big trouble. I mean, you can get
Really?
your hunting privileges taken away and stuff like that.
So when you shed hunt, what basically you're looking for the antlers of elk, deer.
Yeah, you go to where they winter at, their winter ranges, and
Okay.
where they drop their antlers.
So when you guys find one, what do you guys do with it?
You can sell them for really good money.
Yeah, I mean, if you find a big elk horn, you can make almost $100 off that, just one horn, but you can sell them. I don't know. For deer horns, we usually just keep them because deer horns they're kind of cool. I like to just collect them. I'm kind of.
Your dad said his whole fucking garage or shed is full of them.
Yeah.
Now, I do know a
Thinks we're
story.
stupid.
Slade Pitt at Pit Stop Motorsports has a shit ton of room. You're adding on for their antlers. Is that true?
Right. Can't even walk around there as is.
Really, really cool shop though. I went in there yesterday, Slade, and first time I've ever been in there. You guys have the shit of, as far as what I mean of, like Braxton and Bryson were saying earlier, you guys have basically everything in there where they could go there and you guys have it.
Yeah, I mean, we try and stay pretty stocked up to make sure that, especially at the track, when something happens and you need that part and it's going to end your night if you don't have it,
Right.
To keep people on the track. So I would say you could probably build multiple full cars out of the parts we have in that shop.
So with that, you guys travel too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What other races do you guys go and set up just to sell parts and that?
We've been to RPM Speedway in Hays, Kansas, Cocopah Speedway in Somerton, Arizona. When they were doing the Arizona Mod Tour, we were following that, going to all those tracks. You can see us at Price, Utah, Vernal, Utah occasionally.
Vegas.
Yeah, and then the big one is Duel in the Desert.
Do you do pretty well in Vegas?
Yeah.
A lot of people wreck shit.
It's and I think everybody's tearing shit up. But I think the best one we've had was the first Bristol that they did.
Yeah.
They let the dirt track cars.
You guys went and some guys that race around us in Iowa, Kobe Fett. I think his brother Alex raced at that.
Yeah,
He did,
Well, and
yeah.
it was just a shit show. The track was so bad. I mean, I think they took 7 crate motors with them, a couple stock car engines. They were sold out like on practice day.
Really?
Like the first day that they were running.
They broke and wrecked a lot of stuff out there that first year.
I mean, yeah, that track was crazy. So we sold a lot of parts there. I wasn't there, but
Yeah.
it was like getting stuff shipped to Bristol. You know what I mean? To
And
keep things in stock.
Kara, who runs the track here, she actually helps you guys out in Vegas there, doesn't she?
Yeah. She comes and gets us in line.
You're gonna listen to her.
Yeah, she does.
There's the fucking door. You don't want to listen?
Yeah, she's pretty.
It's my business. I don't care. It's my show. Get the fuck out.
She does though. I mean, she keeps things moving, and she's good at that. She's good at taking.
And she's been great to work with on this deal. Like she
Yeah, she-
referred you guys for the shirts and all that. She's been a great help, and I'm so thankful that she's actually letting us do this here tonight and tomorrow night for my
Yeah.
dad and that. And you guys know, I mean, my dad loved this track out here. I mean, this is actually where he got to know a lot of these guys back west. In all honesty, of just racing and duel in the desert. But what makes this track kind of special, even to me, well, what I love about it, it's just so fast, and there's just so much, as we were talking earlier, 3 to 4 wide racing on it.
Right. Yeah.
And-
It's an entertaining track, is how I would describe it for
Yeah.
sure. It's fast and good racing
And-
most of the time.
And you guys take care of the track. You guys prep the track. Your business does that, right?
Yeah. Yep. The guy that does all that, his name's Brian Kepler. He's a foreman for Pitt Construction. So yeah, he's been out there all week. It's going to be interesting, I think, to see how, because usually this dirt is so dry, and I mean it's dry slick all the time, and then it can rubber up. But it'll be interesting to see, with all the moisture we've had all week, how
It'll be good.
hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it's packed down, because usually the first race of the year, the track, like the first night, kind of chunks out a little bit every single year. So I don't know, and I'm better in the tackier heavy tracks, so I'm excited. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hammer down.
So that's what I was telling. Adam's never been out here racing, seen any racing this far west, really, have you?
No, I think as far west as we've been is probably Nebraska.
Yeah. And so, like I was telling him, with the 3 to 4 wide racing, it's fun to watch here, and the way the banks are. I mean, it's that turn.
Especially if the track stays, you know what I mean, heavy tonight. Because I don't. Is Boone like that? Is the dirt pretty?
No, it gets dry slick every night.
Is it? Really?
By the time the stock cars and modifieds get out there, it's pretty much, even though they farm it, it's always dry.
Yeah, that's about how it is usually here. There's times that you get some moisture, or when like the sprint cars or late models come, they'll lay down some rubber, and that's when I get business done. Is when I can get, hey, I don't know.
Hey, Bryson, get your dog on control here. God damn it, we're recording a podcast here.
But yeah, normally in Boone, I guess when you have 300 cars a night, it probably dries out a lot.
Yeah.
We go there. We're there every week. So other than, of course, this weekend.
Slade, you've never been back to Iowa racing, right?
No, I've always wanted to. When these guys go back to Super Nationals, I think I'm gonna tag along with them. After seeing the videos and stuff of your old man.
Yeah.
Super Nationals, I gotta go check that out.
That's why I'm not going to have Velvet in our trailers. And those that know that story,
Oh yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. But those that know will know what I'm talking about.
There's really no party like a Boone party, especially after a night of racing at Super Nationals.
That's what it looks like. I mean,
Yeah.
the videos and stuff you send me, and it's crazy.
Lucky, I don't know if this is a bad thing or a good thing, but Bryson is. When do you turn 18?
Like a week and a half.
Oh, well, then you're fucked. What I mean by that is because if you go to Boone racing, like, say, this year, if you get in any trouble, you're 18, and,
If you're 17 now, you're solid.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen I've seen a lot of crap happen at Boone over the years we've been there, and I've never seen anyone get arrested yet.
No, but you've seen the guy dancing around in underwear and all that. I think, was he wearing a panda hat?
No, he wasn't wearing the panda hat. But
That wasn't Sean Miller that year?
I don't know. Maybe you see all kinds of things down there. There's people running around in Speedos and people running around completely naked.
Was that the year you were in the All-Star race, wasn't it, Braxton?
Yeah, that was cool. It was a badass experience to be in that. It was way cool.
So don't you think my Hot Wheel idea would be a cool idea, though, with the All-Star? Those that make the how many guys are in an All-Star race?
30.
Did they do one for a sport mod?
No, they do stock car now.
Stock car and modified, right?
Yeah, they just started the stock
Why
car.
wouldn't they
Right.
do one in a sport mod? An All-Star race in a sport
Just
mod?
be a 45-minute long wreck fest.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah,
Have you ever thought about going to a modified, Slade?
No. I just kind of do what I'm told. Daddy foots the bill, so if he wants to pay for a modified, then I'm all for it.
I'm sure
but
Justin
I'm not
Yeager
gonna-
has a modified for sale somewhere. Fuck, that fucker has everything for sale at one point, doesn't he? Bryson doesn't want to speak up. He's just shaking his head.
It's true.
Well, they were talking about wrecking.
I'm not admitting that on this. I don't want to get in trouble with that.
Well, you talked about them wrecking each other earlier. One of them wrecks. They'll sell the car to him. They'll sell the car.
I could only imagine Justin getting all fired up of you two out there just fucking going to town. Just
Door slamming each other.
what the fuck are you guys doing out here?
He would kill us.
We're not being ready.
I seen the reaction on just Mud being on the trailer yesterday. I can't only imagine of Slade's over here just losing his shit because he knows it's true.
I'm scared to walk inside of the trailer like at the track.
Oh, I experienced that yesterday. I mean, Justin has that fucking tight ship over there because what I mean by that is his wife, the nieces, and everybody even had fucking Walmart bags wrapped up around their shoes walking through the mud because they know if they would have walked through the mud, their asses wouldn't be going in that trailer because all hell would have broke loose.
Well, we got that boot cleaner at the hotel. We could have just picked that up and bring it to the track.
But boot cleaner ain't gonna get the mud off in the trailer.
That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to get your boots clean before you walk through the mud.
But you know what I'm talking about, Slade, right?
Oh, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, it's nice that everything looks pretty.
No, and I said that yesterday. I said, hey, you work hard for your shit,
Yeah.
and they got nice
They get
equipment,
nice, yeah,
and
keep it nice. So yeah, that's I just can't do that. I mean, you go from their hauler to ours, and it's like going from the MGM Grand to the fucking Motel 8. Just filthy. It's funny.
but there's nothing wrong with that though either, because you just can't help it at times.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea how they keep that trailer so clean.
I have a pretty good idea.
Because we've got
Because
a guy working
these two
for
are
us.
racing, and Justin's constantly with the fucking air blower. You got to carry a pair of earplugs with you just because you know that fucker's getting fired up every 5 minutes. Bryson still isn't saying a word. He's just over here losing his shit because he knows.
So do you guys like power wash it every night too and stuff or no? Yeah.
I can't. Every weekend we're power washing it. He's anal, which I mean that's why he's so successful too. Is
Right.
'cause he's
Well,
anal.
yeah, and that's one thing. You like working on stuff that's cleaned up.
Oh yeah, and it makes it way better. But
There was a guy back home that built like a $4 million shop, and it's like a NASCAR shop. You walk in, the cars reflect off the floor and everything. And he put it in a big wash bay. They wash the trailer, the truck, the cars every night. So yeah.
yeah, that's where we are. It's always every weekend. Wash the
So,
trailer out.
a quick question here. Matthew Seymour. Slade's over here already laughing. Is that because you guys could almost be brothers?
Yeah.
You guys have that fucking same hairdo. Just walked in off of the beach of California. Slade's all getting all worked up, fucking juiced up, and
No.
and then you got old skinny Lemmy Matthew Seymour. But he helps you guys out quite a bit, right?
Oh yeah, he's awesome. It helps me out a lot to have someone like that. Same with how Bryson has his buddy Hayden. To have someone come out there and be actually interested. I mean, because you have guys that come help, but they're not actually interested, or they're just
Right.
there to help. But he's into it. He's
But you
into
guys grew up
racing.
together, right? How
Yeah,
long-
we've been friends for forever, since 5th grade, 4th grade, and he'll be out tonight. But yeah, he's always been into it. He helps me all the time.
So, Slade, I don't know if you know this or not, but he has a nickname in Iowa.
Matthew does?
Yeah,
What's that?
and I think who gave that to him? Was it
Sean Ritter.
Sean Ritter, the hay grinder? Gave
Yes.
him this nickname. His nickname is Princess. That's what they call him out at the tracks there in Iowa.
They do.
I shouldn't go to Iowa. I feel like I did some shit.
No, you would have nothing to worry about. And
Princess,
especially
though, yeah.
if you're with the Yeagers, you know damn well Matthew will be with you, so he's already got the nickname.
Yeah, he's
so,
already got it. We can't give it to you too.
Yeah.
We can't give it to you.
So I don't think you have anything to worry about unless you two are holding hands around that fucking place. And,
I get a little bit dirtier, I think, than Matthew does. I'm usually pretty dirty.
well, yeah, I would hope so. You're in a car, you know.
No,
Can you picture-
I do like to be clean, but
Can you picture? Has he ever drove any of your guys' cars?
Yeah.
Has he?
He drove mine actually.
Did he?
He actually did pretty good. He was first time ever driving any dirt car, and he rolled. He was smooth. I mean, he went slower, but he was smooth. He didn't get out of control any of it at all, and rolled around. It was. He actually talks about wanting to race. He's into that shit.
Well, he has the money now. I mean, fuck, the guy's making hand over fist.
Yeah, he does. He makes good money.
And the guy that's helping you, his name's Eden. Aiden.
Yeah.
And he's a lot like.
Matthew. Yeah, they're a lot alike. Yeah.
Well, this will be interesting. We gotta think of a nickname then for him.
I know, you do.
Slade, who helps you guys out?
oh, Dave Johnson, bud. These guys are laughing because they know Dave. He is probably the nicest guy on planet Earth. But something's wrong with his brain. He can't ever stop working.
That's why you have him then.
He's
I know that
incredible.
fucker's gonna go to town all night long for me. I don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, Yuma at 2 in the morning.
There
Always
was,
throwing shit out.
there's so many stories. Like when we were in Vegas a couple years ago, he had grinded every single tire in our trailer, and there's nothing else to do. You know, it was the first day. Pretty soon, you walk around the corner of the trailer, and there's a line of people with their tires, and he's just grinding everybody's tires for him. I'm the tire demon. Like,
Did he have a sign up?
No, he
We'll
just,
grind tires
I
for
don't
food.
know if he went around telling people, hey, bring your tires over and I'll grind them or what. But, I mean, it'll be 4 o'clock in the morning after a race, and I feel bad for the guy because he goes through that hauler every night and just, he works for my dad, so he's getting paid for all this. We're not slave drivers, but.
Has he ever thought about, maybe he got tips from Justin?
Yeah, honestly, they would get along. I think they do pretty well. I don't know. I think Dave tried to hit on Jessica.
Jesus Christ! Those that don't know, Jessica is Justin's wife, Braxton and Bryson's mom. But
yeah, we were up eating dinner at the fire in Yuma that one year, and Dave came back and was like, "Who's that black-haired lady?" It's with the Yeagers. That's my mom, Dave.
yeah, E-Miles, just turn around. You just wasted 2 minutes of my time.
Next day, I told Justin about that. I went and told Justin because I told Dave, I'm like, Justin's gonna whoop your ass, dude. He found out you were talking to her. And then the next day, I think Justin needed a ride to the airport, so we sent Dave to drive him to the airport. He was tripping out the whole time.
Did he ever say anything to him?
I don't know.
No, he thought it was funny. He was just laughing about it.
Yeah.
God, I would have fucked with him so bad.
You'd have to,
You know.
yeah, you'd have to meet the guy. He's just so nervous, like, and I don't know how to explain it. He's just like nervous and like.
He's a really nice guy.
He reminds me of like a chihuahua, just like shaking his shit all the time.
What was the Taco Bell dog's name?
Oh yeah.
Did the Taco Bell dog have a name?
I don't know.
I don't know if they ever told us.
I was gonna say if his name, that'd be a good nickname.
What, Taco Bell?
Yeah, the Taco. You remember the Taco Bell Chihuahua?
You know, he was always
Taco
trying.
Bell.
Yeah, he always said, "I need a bigger box." He was always trying to catch.
I don't know if I've ever seen that either.
Yeah, you guys are probably too young to remember that shit.
It must have been back in the early 20s.
Jesus Christ!
We're not that old. We're not that old.
Listen to this
I
fucker.
hear that.
Comes in and
I thought you said he was nice.
well, he was getting there, but first time I met him was yesterday. I guess my judge of character was way off of.
Well, you chose me as your podcast partner, so we already know your judgment's way off.
That was at the shop. I gotta act professional there.
And I will say, you guys have a nice, cool looking shop. It's pretty cool because they got motorcycles up as decor around in the main shop, along with a lot of decals. Your shop inside, where the T-shirts and all that are, really, really nice looking shop in general. But
Thank you. Appreciate that.
and I appreciate what you guys have done for us with the stickers and everything. Braxton's wrap looks insane.
Yeah, how did that turn out?
It's badass. That's
What was that?
It's badass.
Good, because I spent nights on that thing, man. That was the hardest wrap I've ever done.
It looks absolutely incredible.
So
And-
many overlays.
And with that, and when I seen your car yesterday, I was because Braxton's wrap has some of what kind of that blue is that blue metallic or
Yeah,
what
it's
is
like a iridescent chrome blue. I don't even. Some people call it like fisheye. I don't know. There's not really a name for it,
okay,
but
but it definitely like even when you took the car out in the sun, it was dancing off of the sunlight, and so I can't wait to see it under the lights. But like I was telling Slade, if he did that with his pink on his car, that'd look fucking sharp.
That'd be sweet.
Seeing your car earlier, yeah, I think that pink would be nice.
yeah, I need to see. I know they only have like certain colors in that stuff, and it took me like weeks to find a roll of that anywhere because I don't know. I think it's just so not rare, but you know what I mean. You can't get a hold of it.
So you guys do a lot of wraps, right?
Yeah.
For cars.
Yeah.
And I seen one that you even did yesterday of what was that that you were doing on that sport mod?
Oh, that's Scott Verner's
Cow car.
number 4 cow
Yeah.
car. Yeah.
Does he hand out a lot of like milk? Is he a dairy farmer or what? What's
I
the
don't know.
connection there?
It's been like that since the 90s, I think, since he started racing.
You gotta go talk to that. fucker.
The cow car.
He's
Yeah.
a funny guy.
We had a guy back home that used to run a cow car. It was all painted up, and he was a cop. So we don't quite know how that all happened.
I was asking
Was he
somebody
serving
last night
cookies?
if he met Roger,
Uh-huh.
and he said he hadn't. Can you imagine those two having a conversation?
Oh God.
I was telling him the stories that I need to tell you those stories, but
You can go ahead. Honestly, this is what's nice about this, because it doesn't matter what you say on here. And you're talking about my dad, so let's it's perfect because it's his memorial race here that we're doing.
So he had been here racing with the Yeagers for years, and I mean, since I started racing, I've always seen him around, and I had never went over there and talked to the guy, just because in my head Roger was just an older, kept to himself. Like, you know, I would go over there and talk to Braxton and stuff, but I would I don't know. I just never met or talked to Roger until we went to Yuma, and he was there. And there's 4 days that we have off in between the 2 weeks. And so Justin and my dad both left us there with Roger. And I think that was all that was there, right? Us and Roger and Billy.
Matthew
was there, but it was just, the crew.
And you guys were there, right?
Yeah. These guys were. So we were pitted right next to each other, and so we had these 4 days off and had nothing to do, so we, got after it. And
explain got after it. I mean, because that could go either which way.
We went to Albertsons or Smith's or something to get steaks one night to cook, and Roger got himself a 32 rack of Busch Light. Well, I shouldn't say got himself. I thought he got beer for all of us. So I didn't buy anything because I thought, well, yeah, we got 32 beers for the night, and we went back to the track, and I am not exaggerating when I say I'm pretty sure that old man drank every single beer. Like a fish. And that was the night that I met real Roger, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I've been bugging him every year since we've been going back to Yuma. Where's Roger? Because I think I don't know why he wasn't coming around anymore. But it just was never the same. It has never been the same since that one time in Yuma. But anyways, back to the story. He drank that 32 rack, and I mean, we were all, fucked up. And the next morning, it was probably noon when I woke up and stumbled out of the holler to take a piss. And he had parked his truck, the gold Dodge, along this fence that we were parked next to, and had the back door open because he was sleeping in the truck. He wasn't sleeping in their holler. I don't know why. But he was sleeping in the back of his truck, and
that's what he did.
The door was open, and his feet were hanging out the side of the door with the shoes off, and his dog was just sitting underneath the truck in the shade and had a leash hooked to it, and the leash was wrapped around this motherfucker's big toe. And he was passed out. He would put the dog outside and wrap the leash around his big toe so it wouldn't run away, and then pass back out. But I was so hungover and sick that I stood there and
you can see him too, just waving his foot. Settle down out there.
It was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I regret so bad not taking a picture of that, because it's just one of those things,
I've heard a lot of Boone stories. I've experienced a lot of them myself. And that's what's kind of cool about even me doing this, is that you could share just different stories of. And that's what's cool about this kind of sport, and you see the families, you see how people come together and just have a good time, just like how we are right now. It's pretty laid back. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks or what I say or anything like that. I'm not here to please somebody. I'm just doing this as fun and bringing fans into what you guys love doing, and getting to know you guys a little bit better. And like we touched...
No, it's hot.
Oh, you're hot.
Oh.
It's just so musty in here.
Fuck, when you're sitting next to these two. Yeah, welcome to your first... Is this your first podcast, Slade?
This is my first podcast, yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys ever done one, Braxton, Bryson?
No,
what do you guys... I mean, the sound, is it totally different than when you're at a track?
Let me see those.
And you... when you're at a track and you're doing an interview with everything, it's a whole different experience, isn't it?
This is awesome. I mean, it's just so laid back and chill.
It's cool how you can hear everything, especially now that I took them off. It's really weird.
Does it sound weird to you now?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is cool. It's way cool. I like it.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted. When I approached Adam and Ryan Cartel kind of gave me the push on doing this, and I talked about doing. Well, I even told you when you guys were in Brit that I always wanted to do something like this, and when I approached Adam to doing this, I was like, I want it to be where it's like this versus, what do you think of the rules and why you're running this, and versus this guy, what's this guy doing? To a lot of people, that's over a lot of people's heads, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so,
I mean, you start talking about setups and stuff like that, people don't care. I mean,
Right.
really, when you come to a racetrack.
And so that's where we came up. I wanted to do this of being like, what's your hobbies? What are you doing outside the track, and where people get to know you guys a little bit better, and kind of shed some light on what you're doing outside of racing.
I'll tell you what Braxton doesn't do outside the track. He does not call his friend Slade, ever.
Well, fuck, the fucker's engaged now. I mean, what do you? Hey, he's got a ring on that.
Actually, she contacts me more, telling me, you know what I mean, not telling me to.
God, that sounds bad.
No, it doesn't. She'll be like, "Hey, let's all go camping, or let's all go do something."
Are you dating anybody, Slade?
Yeah, I am, actually.
Yeah, you could hear you. Don't worry about that.
The earphones are tripping me out.
So, with that in mind, have you guys been dating quite a while, or?
I met her in August of last year. She lives in Utah. She's actually on her way here right now. So I think we've been actually dating since February.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
So we're trying to get this Matthew Seymour and Taylor Cool thing. Have you ever met Taylor?
Yeah.
Really, really cool chick. We did a podcast with her.
She was actually our first driver we did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And it was a lot of fun. Kelly was on it with us, and we had a ball. But she's not dating anybody.
I saw you that when you wrecked her.
Yeah, we could go there, but I want to touch this base here of when we were doing the podcast with Taylor. We brought up, she's not dating anybody, and I said, well, I know somebody in Wyoming that's single, and she goes, and you could tell right away she knew who I was talking about. She got kind of red in the face, and I go, little Matthew Seymour, and what'd she say? Oh, little Matthew, yeah, he's a good guy. Da da da. So we always been joking around with him. I think that's actually where the nickname Princess even came into play a little bit, didn't it?
I think so.
I think it was through Sean Ritter at Marshalltown, and he was kind of shied away. But when you guys come back to Iowa, bring that motherfucker with you. And we need to make that happen.
Yeah, we'll try. That's what. I think Matthew wants to come out with me actually for a week.
He may have to give up that gig that he has going out here, because she has a pretty good thing going in Iowa with.
She's got a great thing going in Iowa.
Yeah, that's what.
And he knows the cars, so he could even pit for her.
Oh yeah.
God, she would be his little bitch.
And she's always looking for people to pit because people always flake out on her at the racetrack. So there you go. It's a win-win for everyone.
Right. I'm going to throw that across his plate tonight when I see him. I know he's going to have some words for me, but what the fuck's he going to do? I mean,
you were telling me earlier if they get in a fight, he's not going to protect anyone.
Fuck, you have better odds with a fly swatter and a fly versus him. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, so you wrecked Taylor, huh?
Yep.
Where was this at?
Kokopah Speedway in Arizona.
Was that just this at the Winter Nationals, or where was that at?
That was 2 years ago. Yeah. It was a heat race, I think, but we were like the first ones. Nah, we weren't. It was the main event. I'm lying.
Yeah, remember they watered the track.
Yeah, it was the main event. They just watered the track right before we went out, and there was a fucking lake in the bottom of 1 and 2, and the slow lap, the parade lap or whatever, I wasn't looking at the track, and I started, I think, second row inside, and she started outside pole. Maybe she started pole, but anyways, yeah, first lap, first corner, drove right through that mud and slid up the track and took out her left rear tire. And I will tell you what, I have never had my ass ripped like I did then. Never.
That's because Lottie he spends lots of money on that car. So
well, it wasn't. She came because I after it happened, we both got off the track, and I walked over there to say, my bad.
So
And she lit into me. I walked away feeling so stupid, like I should just quit racing.
yeah, and that's kind of surprising with me.
No, but she had every right to be. I'd be pissed off too. But I mean, we're good. We're friends. We talked about it, after she cooled off, and
That night we were all hanging out.
yeah, we were drinking that night and having fun.
So how long have you been in a sport mod?
I think this is my 10th year. I started when I was 14.
So
24 now.
So if you came back to Iowa, I mean, what's one race you'd want to race back? I mean, obviously the Boone Nationals, but I mean, like Braxton and them came back for the Harris Clash, the Night of 10,000 Stars.
we also have the Night of 1,000 Stars. We have the Salute to Veterans,
Right.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So-
I think the salute to veterans would be on the top of my list, just because I love the idea of like all the wraps and like all the cool things they do with that race.
Have you paid attention where you do wraps? Have you paid attention to what they've done on any other wraps or anything?
Yeah, I'm always like checking out cars and stuff. Not per se to get ideas, but just to.
So they've done that, what, Adam, 2 years now? This will be the third year?
Oh, no, they've done it way longer than that.
Have they?
Oh, yeah, it's probably 4 or 5 years.
Okay. But the two cars of my all-time favorite cars that they've done on them wraps have been Cody Fett, where it looked like a Vietnam helicopter.
Okay.
That fucker was badass looking. That's probably one of the coolest wraps I've ever seen. And the next one was that Taylor Cool's last year's wrap.
Yeah, that wrap.
She had Rosie the Riveter on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a sick wrap.
And that's what Braxton, and I can't thank you enough for you, and you helped a lot with this Slade of doing his wrap, but you guys have that tribute piece of my dad up on your hood that looks really good. We sent over a couple designs of when my dad served in Vietnam, of when he was over in Vietnam, and everyone that I showed that picture to, they're like, oh, that's a badass picture, with the kind of him flicking the cigarette, and it kind of gives that whole vibe of what that time was like, he shared quite a bit of stories, not so in-depth stories with me of what he experienced in Vietnam, but I'll just leave it at this. Like he always said, this country doesn't know what war is. And but with that being said, I can't thank you enough for you two having what you did for that on your car and you designing all that. And then obviously Damon Jennings out in Florida that even came up with the graphic work for you on that. But that turned out better than what I expected. So
Yeah, it's badass. That's looking at my roof with his face on it. It's cool. It's really cool.
So with that, Slade, do you find, is there any wraps, like of all the wraps you've done, what's probably your favorite one you have ever done?
I don't know. I'm so picky, you know what I mean, about the work I do, that I do a wrap and everybody loves it and I'm just like nitpicking it. I'm thinking once I see Braxton's, I still haven't seen it on the car yet. I'm hoping it's my favorite because I cried for a couple hours this week.
You look like someone that would cry over a fly getting swatted on the window. I'm just giving you a hard time, Slade.
I don't know, though. I really don't know. That's a good question.
I think we all know it's safe to say that yellow and purple one you did a few weeks ago is your favorite.
It's speaking of that, Justin keeps on giving Braxton a hard time. That fucker would look better if it was yellow. But
Is that what he keeps saying?
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
you
yeah.
cannot make that guy happy with
yeah,
that.
so
It makes me mad.
Keep loving Bryson. I think it's the coolest thing in the world.
He's just so. I think it's a generational thing. Maybe not, because Bryson seems to have the same taste as Justin does. But like, I know that me and Braxton both like a simpler, cleaner look.
right.
And
it's funny about wraps because you see guys that will have what Adam and I kind of think of on the same page of different wraps that look really good, and then you got those guys that are like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And there's nothing against that. That's just it's their car. That's the way they want to run it, right? But with that being in mind, of you take like Cody Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would have never expected that from Cody Malcolm up there in Idaho Falls. But and you'll see his car tonight. But
that's what's hard about doing wraps. Like I did that wrap too, and that's what's hard is like I have my style, and like when I designed that wrap, because he said he wanted it to be tie-dye. So I designed it to look like something that I would put on my car, including tie-dye, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I just thought it was the coolest looking wrap, and I sent it to him, and he just like was like, let's just do the whole background tie-dye. And I was like, all right, man. But it turned out pretty sweet. Like it's really cool.
I mean, you don't see that kind of car around.
It's hard for me to get out of my taste and try and, you know what I mean?
So Bryson, on your car, how what Slade said, your car is a lot like your dad's, right?
Yeah, our stock, like from my dad's stock car to my car, I mean they're identical pretty much.
So is that your dad just saying this is the way it's gonna fucking be, or does he let you open it up? And
I love having all yellow. No one else on the track has a car that looks like that, so it just stands out over everybody's. And I love all the yellow. And then I always ran yellow and blue, but last year Slade gave me the idea to go to purple. That's what my dad always ran back in the day when he was really good. So I did that, and it's awesome. I love how the yellow and purple looks.
So that's the thought process going into this year of throwing some purple on there to beat your brother now, and
pretty much. Yeah.
Well, if you put purple in your car, you have to be fast. So
yelling purple. I mean, are you a Vikings fan?
Oh hell no.
Let's get you a Vikings sticker for that thing.
Why would we do that?
I didn't ask for your 2 cents. I'm just talking on.
If we're gonna put someone on the car, let's put someone worth putting on there.
Jesus, what do you got?
He's got Mentos, I think.
Mentos. Oh, what is it? ZYN 3. What the fuck are we? You can tell this whole generation gap. You know, like just give me a fucking mint. Do we really need to have the abbreviation of what is it? ZYN or ZYZ or whatever the fuck it is?
Apparently, you're just the old guy in the room.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I mean, seriously. I mean, do we have to have all these fucking symbols and shit because it's a cleaner mint? Is that where we are in this stage of curiosity? For example, when you pick up this box of mints. Is it mint? Is it?
It's spearmint, yes.
Okay. So when you pick this up in the store, do you look at this and think, oh yeah, you know, because I'm keeping my body clean, full of caffeine free, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, very nice. It's all natural. Sorry, all natural. Whatever's in it. There's no chemicals or no dyes or anything like that. ZYN, you know, I think I'm going to buy this.
Maybe it has to do with those have only got 5 calories instead of the other ones have 10. Maybe it's a calorie.
Is that versus picking up a pack of spearmint mints or whatever it is?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
Why I like these ones?
Yeah.
The logo, the branding. That's the only reason that I like these ones.
Really? And it's just simple. It kind of reminds you of a Harry Grant in NASCAR days.
Just that skull across the hood.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what we're looking at. Of
like this is something you see this can in the store and you're like, damn, that's a good can.
And you look at that can and you know what it is. I mean,
yeah,
it's nothing like it.
It's just mind blowing to me of just the random shit you see in stores now. Of like, anyway. Side. See how this goes, this whatever.
We never stay on topic.
We need Kelly. Where the fuck is she at?
New York.
So Kelly helps us with our podcast, and she was in New York with Mayor Giuliani.
Mayor Giuliani and Rachel Urschel, if you know who that is.
And she's back there living Fifth Avenue Saks lifestyle while we're in dirt and mud out here in Wyoming.
Yeah. But we took her to Boone, and she said that's one of the best times she's ever had.
She had a ball.
But Opheim said we ruined it for her. We took her to Boone first.
You ruined her.
I was going to Boone either way. You didn't have to go.
Well, and she's going to be at some of the shows that we're doing coming up. So if you guys come to Iowa on that, she'll be around a little bit. But we had a ball with that. Like if she was here right now, you guys would have a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun to party with.
She tries to keep us on topic a little bit.
Yeah, because this has gone south three different fucking times. Bryson's over here. God damn it! I gotta vacuum a car.
You gotta wash it before we put it.
And Slade's over here. I gotta get my car ready yet for tonight. You guys are talking about my fucking mints. And
Somebody's got to change gears. A couple people have got to wash cars, and instead you're sitting here.
Well, I want to thank all of you guys seriously though being here with us. Appreciate you having on and everything that you've done for this race and what you've done for our podcast and that. And can't wait to hopefully see you in Iowa and see you guys back in Iowa. Especially you, Bryson. You need to get out there and
I know, I need to. I
quit pussyfooting around. And I really hope you guys, and I told you guys this, I really hope that you guys and Tanner and or Ricky Alvarado are in the victory win tonight or tomorrow night just because of the situation. So
Yeah, absolutely.
It was very nice to meet you all.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for having us.
yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the Slimy Bastards.